Right, party people, got a big Nissan Navara. I've been over it already, inspected it. Just need to do a diagnostic inspection on it, so we're just doing the health check at the minute. So suspension wise, unless I've missed anything, I've not seen anything, not found any play in the pins, bushes or ball joints. The only thing to report on the rear is this: it's either had, you know, the half shaft seal leaking or a brake fluid leak, which is stopped, or something's been leaking here anyway at some point. I'm not sure if it's an active leak, but if the brake shoes have never been looked at, it's probably best getting that opened up and having a look at it, to be honest with you. The exhaust system is quite rusty, but I don't see any blowing in it. You can see there's water coming out of there, that's fine. That's your DPF there. Flexi's starting to break up, but it's not blowing. That's the cat up there. So the only thing I found on it is the sump's leaking on it. So it looks like somebody's just serviced it as well. It looks like a brand new filter up there. Something happening with that pipe there, whether it be coolant or I'm not sure. No, actually, that looks like a vacuum hose coming out of the brake booster. So it looks like there's something there. That's maybe somebody spilled something changing that filter. Also looks like the pads and discs have just not been long been done. So the tyres are a bit worn. So these are kind of off-road tyres, those all-terrain if you like. But they normally come, these big Coopers, with about 14mm tread on it, so you can see that's a normal road tyre, that Devante. These ones, but kind of, you know, chunkier for going, you know, into the grassy areas. So really, there's not much to report on the actual suspension, the underside of it. Just, you know, it looks like there's been a leak at the back, and obviously that sump's leaking. So we'll get it done. We'll get the autel hooked up onto it and we'll see what the thing's saying there. So no lights on, but a report of chugging, so we'll see what's happening with it. Right, so we've got the autel hooked up. Look under the bonnet. The only thing I've spotted on it is this: somebody's been in at the ECU, so that's broken. So that's meant to lock that in place, and also that red tab there is how you release it. So you need to unclip it, and then that acts like a lever and it slides the plug off. So somebody's broken that one, so somebody's been in at that for whatever reason. So we'll see what the machine says. It's got all the details. We'll do the auto scan, full scan on it. See the alternator's charging at 14.5 volts, so it seems to be good. All the lights are on, fogs, everything seems to be on there. So come on! Right, so it's not as bad as the Land Rover, not too many modules, but we'll pause here and let this scan. Right, I would need to look that one up. Engine coolant temp sensor circuit, probably. Go on. Enter that system. Doesn't look like there's any faults in any other system, but we'll save all this coolant in there. It's hot, hot. Relay wired in there as well, so that's no factory, that whatever's happened to that relay. To be honest, this is a tow bar wiring probably, I'd imagine so. Yeah, there's a fuse for it there. Looks like a relay, so I mean they could have tidied it a bit better, but that's pretty standard, to be honest with you. So actually we'll come back out of there. Save that report. Right, I'll pause again. So I've had a wee peek in, I can't really see, you know, what's going on. Why is it not wanting to vent the system? So I can't really see where the engine coolant temp sensor is. There's maybe more than one on it, but I would need to probably just change the sensor. Engine coolant temp sensor, it's saying. So we'd probably need to try that, clear all the codes, and then start again. If it's chugging because of that, then it's maybe not getting the right fuel, so it's maybe not starting right as well. Sometimes in these engine coolant temp sensor circuits, you know, when they see the wrong temperature. So if it thinks it's -40 or whatever, then it's not going to give you the right fuel. So and generally that's what they go to. If they fail, they go to -40. I don't know why, they just default to that setting. And yeah, it can cause you some poor starting. Can be quite intermittent as well. You know, you get problems with engine coolant temp sensor, and it's most probably got a wee tiny bit of corrosion on the pins, which probably come through the coolant, leaking from it. But obviously we need to strip to get to it, so we need to price that up and see what kind of job it is to do. That's a fuel and temp one there. That one there is for the aircon radiator, so it will be in there somewhere buried, so we need to take the covers off it and dig into it a bit. We need to source the part as well and see if it's available. So there you go, that's the diagnostic scan at least done on it. There'll maybe be further diagnostic needed on it. I've got a copy, I think. Just double check. Yeah, autel cloud report, Nissan, that's there. So we shall clear the codes, there's only one in there, and we'll see if it will clear. The light's off, so it should. Right, so code's cleared. Right, read, see if it comes back. Nothing there at a minute. So, right, so that was the only one that had a fault basically. So, there you go. We shall, yeah, we run, see what it does. Right, the big Navara, the Nissan pickup. So I was looking for the engine coolant temp sensor, you know, looking pipes, filling the pipes, can't find any sensors. What's going on here? Where are you? So checked the manual, read the feckin' manual, and there she is in there. So I can't actually get my hands to the plug, so it looks like we'd need to get this plate out of there before we could get a socket in there. I don't fancy trying anything else other than a socket, to be honest with you. So it looks like there's 2 bolts there, but I don't know if there's any other bolts for it. So if there is, there's maybe one going that way, but I can get my hand in and feel there's a bolt hole, but I can't find the bolt and I can't see the front yet. So yeah, I'll maybe just slacken these, see what happens with that plate. Hold on. Right, so I've slackened these 2 bolts off, so I'll take this wee plate out of the road now, just to see what's going on. If we can get in there, just because we need to change it, then it's probably a good start to change it, to be honest. So, see if once we get these out, if we can then get our fingers on the plug. Take a wee look at that. See, oh you beauty. Right, actually I think the wiring for it's actually attached to that plate, so, and there's the hole I was feeling, so there's no bolt in there. Not sure if there's meant to be and somebody's not put it back. Yeah, suspicious, eh? Suspicious then, so somebody's been in here then. So it's got the wire attached to it, so it's not going to fall, so somebody's definitely been in there then. So, and it did look like actually, maybe, you know, like there's some marks on that plug. You know, like somebody's been at it with a pick. So I wonder if, yeah, because I can just get my fingers to it, but I reckon I can't get enough of a grip of it. It's got some tape there as well, so I can't seem to get a grip of it. I'd need to order one and see if it looked like that one, then we'd know. It definitely looks like somebody's been at that. Anyway, hold on, I'll pause here. I'm going to need to get the pick myself, I think. Right, so I'm going to need to give me the pick. There you go. I can't get enough on it to. There we go. Off you come. Right, there we go. So something look okay, those terminals. So, but 100% somebody's been on there recently. Hard to say whether that's new or not. confident we could get a socket on it, so really that's what I'm doing here, just try to confirm. Okay, no labour time, so I'll take this. Actually, there's a wee bit of wiring extension on this, so I can check this bit of wiring. So I'll show you what I mean. Done. Pause. Right, so you can see that. That's easy wee bit of wiring to test it up. So, but I believe the wiring's okay, to be honest with you. Yeah, so you can see some markings on that. That's the bit that's into the plug, into the temp sensor itself, and you can see those marks. Hi there. So, right, so interestingly enough, right, you can see we're not going on management light at the moment, and I just had to move it to let the very leaky Leone. Right, so we'll get a quick re-clean and then we'll put it back and we'll see what's happening with it, but there's no fault codes on it at the minute, so maybe take a couple of starters till it goes over. Wait a minute, it's not working there. We've got that plate back in, so what we can do now is find out what the specs are meant to be, what the resistance is meant to be for cold on there, you know, and check on the back of these two wires and see if it actually is moving it. And then, you know, because it might have been changed because somebody's been in at the ECU. Certainly looks like there's a bolt missing out of that. Definitely look like there's a witness mark where a bolt was, and I can feel it in the back end there is a bolt. There is a hole anyway that a bolt could go into, roughly where that witness mark is. In fact, you can actually just see it with the camera, I think. So anyway, but it's there, I know it's there, so, and I know it should be in there, so, and we can see somebody's had a pick on there, exactly like I've had to do, so possibly I will do a bit of digging on this fault and see. Right, so I've got the autel back on the Navara. I'm doing a wee bit more than we normally do for the diagnostic inspection, to be honest with you. My gut feeling tells me somebody's just been in at this, just because of those marks on the pick. So the temp gauge is reading 0 at the minute, it's reading 39 degrees there, so we'll show the selected. I know it's at 39 now, so I'll leave it running for half an hour and we'll see what that does, see if it changes at all. Okay, so the gauge is started coming up now, so I'll see what it says up here on the autel. 65, so see. Right, so I've been holding it on a fast idle for a wee while. Well, not too long, so 81, so it's came up, so we'll let it go up to 90, see what happens. Right, so we can definitely see there something is not right on that circuit, so there's something not right there, that's not right, so it shouldn't be doing that. So either the sensor's bad or the ECU's bad, one of the two, so we can see it's going crazy there, so yeah, that's obviously what's happening. Right, so we're back in the Navara. I've fitted that sensor. I've just got the plate in slack just now. See, we've plugged it back in. I've taken this off as well. Obviously I'm doing more than just taking the plug off it at the minute, so I've taken that off. It's still very difficult. You can just about get your two fingers on it. I had to use the two fingers and the pick and try to get it screwed in. You need to make sure you screw that in properly, because if you cross-thread that, you're into a world of pain, and you could be costing yourself a cylinder head. So we'll need to we'll put the beauty cover back on it, because we'll do this. And the next stage is into this, which is somebody's, you know, we'd need to check back to there, and then if that doesn't fix it, or we don't find anything with the wiring, sorry, then we will have to take the ECU out, unfortunately, and send it away for testing. So it could be off road for about 10 days, maybe longer, and that's if there's a fix on it. If there's no fix on it, then, you know, if they've never seen that fault before, or if they've not got any, you know, known fixes for it, then sometimes you just need to get a new ECU. That's Nissan, so it's probably a Renault one, but to be honest with you, so aye, so we'll crack on here, we'll get these tightened up, we'll get the 2 bolts for that bracket tightened up, beauty cover back on, hook the autel back up on it, and we'll see what she does, okay? Right, so the gauge has just started coming up on it. So the gauge has just started coming up. Nothing spewing out, so should be all good in the hood there. It does come with a new compression ring on it, so it's a 57. It has been rising, I've not noticed any fluctuations on it as of yet, so fingers crossed it does not do any of that crazy fluctuating machine in yesterday's video. So we'll crack on, we'll crack on with some other things now. We Kangoo van clutch ongoing, so we'll crack on with that while we're monitoring this, and we'll come back in a sec. Right, so take it a wee run there. It seemed to be sitting quite steady on the 90, but you hear it? The fan clutch kicking on and off, because if we go back now to the data, it's still, even with the new sensor, going crazy, so it doesn't know what temperature it's at. So we'd probably need to send the ECU away on it, to be honest with you, I think, and just have that tested, because we know now that circuit, the sensor anyway, that's the old one in there. So that's the old one that was in it with the blue plug. The one that's in it now is black. So yeah, we need to test the ECU further, I think. Certainly it was going okay, it was pulling okay, we just came back up the hill. Oh, we can see the temp gauge actually fluctuating there. Oh, we're going to switch it off just in case it is overheating. I have been green at the beans this. So I think we'll now speak to a couple of different ECU testing companies and see what they say.